Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on The Morning Show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it.
My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. It's Throwback Thursday, and today, we are throwing it back to a great singer that I grew up listening to on WRJH in Brandon, Mississippi. I haven't heard him in a long, long time, but I'll never forget the voice. And I'll never forget the man. It's Mr. Quinton Mills, and we're honored to have him right here on The Morning Show. Good morning, Mr. Mills.
Well, good morning, Natalie. It's good to talk to you. Good to talk to so many people down in Mississippi. I've always loved Mississippi. Love coming down there singing, worshiping, and eating catfish. So.
Absolutely. Well, you have been in Mississippi. You know that.
Yeah, I don't think nobody else served catfish anywhere in the U.S., even in the other countries like Mississippi.
Not like Mississippi.
It's great. Yeah, it's great.
Well, Mississippi loves you, too. Just to hear your name, and I've been listening to these songs, kind of pulled them back out. Hadn't heard them in a long time, but we pulled them back out the last couple of days getting ready for this. And to hear them again makes me feel about 13 years old. My sister and I would come home from school, late elementary, junior high, late 80s, early 90s. The first thing we would do was cut on the local radio station. It was Southern Gospel. Mr. Jeff Steele was the DJ there for many years. And I doubt there was a day went by that they did not play Quinton Mills, most days, multiple times. So you were just a big part of me growing up. You were just kind of
Mississippi was a big part of my musical career, ministry too. I've got so many fun memories of Mississippi. I know Lake, if you're in somewhere around Lake, Mississippi, you're not that far from Meridian. And I was at a CBA convention, Christian Bookstore Association convention in Atlanta, Georgia, in the mid to later 80s. And I met this guy that owned a Christian bookstore, Meridian. His name was Bob Rawls. And he told me, he said, man, we want to get you down in Mississippi and Meridian, so you come down there, so we'll put on the dog. That thing just kind of took me because that was a southern phrase that I connected to, you know. So I came down and did a concert there in the big, is it the Temple? There's a theater.
Temple Theater.
Okay, yeah. I've been in that several times. A lot of the different churches around there. Of course, it felt like my second home was almost Brandon, Mississippi, because we had real good friends that we would stay with when we was in the area, Kosciuszko, Philadelphia, some of the other places. So Mississippi has a lot of great memories for me. I mean, a lot.
Well, you mentioned Lake, Mississippi. Do you know where the home of the morning show is?
No, I don't know. I don't know if I've been exactly in Lake. I've actually done a concert in Forest, and I don't believe that's that far from you. But
Lake, Mississippi is our home, and Forest is about 10 minutes from here. So all of those places you just named, we could throw a rock and probably hit it.
So you know where Why Not, Mississippi is at?
Sure.
Hey, look, let me tell you something funny about Why Not. I hope I'm not being too talkative on here, but I was in my office one day, the phone rings. And I picked the phone up. I said, hello. I said, yeah, I want to talk to Quinton Mills. I said, this is Quinton. He said, Quinton said, I'm down in Meridian, Mississippi. He said, we want you to come down to Bethany Baptist Church and do a concert for us. And I said, okay. I said, where do you want me to come in Mississippi? He said, why not Mississippi? I said, well, I mean, I like Mississippi. I enjoy Mississippi. I said, where do I come? He said, well, why not? And me being country, I said, hey, Bubba, I said, look, if you want me to come there, you got to give me some kind of location. That's when I found out that Why Not was a place.
That's where he was telling you to come.
Yeah, but I thought that was so cool. It was so cool, And one day,
I think it's a very big place.
Yeah, I went through there. I don't know if I ran over it or not. I hit a bump in the road or what on the way down to Bethany Baptist. But we've always enjoyed some great times down. I mean, some great times down there. The guy there in Meridian, the old legend, was it Jimmy Rogers or somebody? Who was it?
Jimmy Rogers has
I've been able to eat in his place there. It's just a lot of great memories there. I've done a lot of revivals at Northcrest Baptist Church there in Meridian. We've just enjoyed some times there,
Brother Danny Lanier.
Yeah. Danny was there. Brother Malcolm Lewis was there before Brother
him.
Daniel, but Daniel, I know him real good, But Mississippi
Absolutely.
have always been one of the favorite places that I love to go. I mean, it is,
Well, Brother Quinton, if you've got just a little bit of time, we won't keep you very long, but I want you to tell people a little bit about the ministry that you had. I know 1972 was a big year for you because your life turned around in 1972, and I know you have a really extensive testimony here, and we don't have time to go into all of it, but I would love for you to hit the highlights if you've got time to just talk a little bit about it.
I'd be glad to do so, Natalie. I was raised in a good Christian home. My dad was a Baptist deacon for 67 years, very, very much church-oriented family, But when I got into my teens, like a lot of younger people do, you feel like you know more than mom and dad. So I just kind of start not walking the right path. But when I really fell off the charts was when I joined the Navy. Now, I mean, I loved the Navy. If I had to go back in again, I'd go right back in it. But when I got in the Navy, I started hanging around people that were doing things that I didn't even know what they were doing, being raised in the country. And before I know it, that I became a part of my life. When I got discharged honorably in 1968, I was actually a combined drug addict and alcoholic. And my life just spun out of control to the point that I tried my best to end my life. And they say that I did, but the Lord brought me back to life. Wow. And I didn't really understand all of it at the time, but he knew that I would be ministering one day. So I just look back at it now in retrospect. I mean, it took a real loud alarm clock to get my attention, but all of this time that I was doing these things, the Lord was, I guess, was just trying to tell me, if you'll just give me your life, I've got great things for you to do. And I'm not saying greatness in me, but what God have allowed me to accomplish as a solo artist in Southern gospel industry, it just have been amazing. I mean, I can see God's hand everywhere, really,
Yeah. But he did do great things with you.
Oh, he did do. I got saved one night in 72 in the back of my brother's old country store, and it just felt so good being saved. I didn't need anybody to praise me or to compliment me or whatever. I just felt clean. I felt like the burden of sin had just been lifted. And I started singing a little bit in the church, and then I would get invitations to come to sing to other churches. And by 1975, I was on the road. Of course, before I got saved, I used to sing secular music and used to open for some of the real big-time singers out there. But it was not really satisfying to me. I mean, you had the big audiences, you had the people. It was almost funny, people, you throw your handkerchief out there and see people fighting over it, whatever. I thought that was cool, but you go back to the dressing room and you're just lonely. I mean, there's a big hole in your soul that you can't fill. There's not enough things or materialism out there to fill it. But when I got saved, and I know I'm rambling on by me being a minister, that's part of my cutout, as the old people used to say. But after I got saved, my life just became so full circle. It became so full of meaning. I mean, little things start meaning so much to me. And my wife and I, we've been married now over 31 years, and she told me after we got married, she said, people see you on stage, on TV, or whatever, they would never, ever even imagine what a very simple person you are. I mean, just a simple life. It don't take a lot to make me happy because I'm so grateful that God saved my soul. And I'm not really focusing on the treasures of this earth because I'm waiting to move into my mansion just any day, see.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I don't think it'll be that long. I believe the Lord's going to come back and get us.
Well, I'm not trying to play prophet on here or whatever, Natalie, but the condition of this world that's going right now, if God does not intervene, the mindset of mankind, the means and the methods, I believe mankind have the means and the methods right now to self-destruct, and their mindset is really not that far from it. That's a little bit scary. My son, we have a son that's 27. His name is Gabriel. And he asked me one day when he was in middle school, because he's a good kid, he said, Dad, do you think Jesus will come back before I get out of school? I said, son, I don't know. I said, but let me tell you now, before you was ever born, God had a perfect plan for your life. He had a plan for your life before you ever cried your first cry. So just keep this in mind. If when you walk with the Lord, either way, you're a winner,
Absolutely.
So that's is the uncertainty of the times now, not trying to be prophetic or anything like that, but really, Natalie, the uncertainty of the times in the United States of America is very, very alarming right now. I'm serious. It's alarming. But when you have the peace of God, you're a winner either way.
Winner either way. The best is yet to come.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. The best is yet to come. So we're still doing a lot of crusades. I'm not doing as many singings as I used to. I have traveled over 5 million miles. I have been into 42 foreign countries. and the travel started wearing real thin on me. And I not that I'm handicapped or anything like that in any kind of means or methods or ways, but after a while it gets old. You travel millions and millions of miles, it just get a little bit old and start wearing on you. So I start trying to use more common sense. You know, you can't continuously book 200, 250 dates a year and not get tired. You can't do that. So.
And you're taking care of yourself. That's
trying
good.
to, yeah. Well, age had a big part in that too.
Well, Mr. Mills, do you mind me asking how old you are?
No, I'm not ashamed whatsoever. I am 77. I was born in 1940. I'm 77. I was born in 1945, and a lot of times people tell me, "There ain't no way in the world you look like you're 77." I said, "Sometimes you just don't know how I feel, you know." But to be 77, I'm pretty active, Natalie. I am. I was doing a concert one time in Tupelo, Tupelo Church of God, and I had parked in the handicap space, so I'd be close to the door, you know, to wheel my equipment and everything in, and somebody came in there. I had done traveled about 450 miles or 500 to get there. So somebody came and I said, "Brother Mills, do you know you parked in the handicap spot?" I said, "I'm in the right slot. I feel like I'm qualified."
Stay in your lane, brother.
Yeah,
We're in the right.
But, you know, I just feel so privileged, Natalie, to have worked for the Lord all of these years. God has given me a beautiful career and have touched a lot of people. I sit here sometimes, we get a lot of mail and get a lot of calls and emails and stuff like that, but sometimes I'll be reading my mail. I don't toss my mail. I don't get nobody else to process my mail. I read my mail. And I'll be sitting there reading mail and tears be running off my chin. My wife sometimes come by and I can't even talk because I'm so choked up, because you never really realize how many people you're touching, you know.
That's right. That's
but
right.
If you just use what you got and stay where God put you, He'll do the rest.
Yeah. Well, you sure touched mine over 30 years ago. You made an impact in my life, and I'm 44. It took me over 30 years to get to talk to you and to have this conversation, but, you know.
Well, if I'm in Mississippi again, I'd love to meet you, you know, in person or whatever, because if I'm down there again, it would be known when I say that I would put it out there where I'm going to be close, but I'd love to meet you guys in person or whatever. It's time for me to do a reunion in Mississippi anyway, because my friends that I used to stay with then, I'm jumping pages on you, in Brandon, both of them have passed on, but it just seems like for them not to be in Brandon seems like a part of Brandon and Flowood and Jackson and all the rest of it is just missing, you know. But people have been calling. They want me to come back and do a concert through there, and I want to do, when I come, I'm probably going to do several. So, but maybe we can hook up, you know, when I say
I hope we can.
See each other eyeball to eyeball. See.
I hope. Look, and we're friends on Facebook now. I'm following you on Facebook so I can keep up. You know, I can keep up.
I saw that you had friended me. It's real good. My mind, I'm going retro. You know, that thing tickled me when Bob was a paraplegic. He was in a wheelchair, you know, but he told me, man, I talked to him a few minutes. He could tell I was just as country as cornbread, which I love. He said, "Man, we get you down in Meridian." I said, "We're going to put on the dog." So a lot of years we put on the dog down there too.
You talked about that being a Southern statement, Mr. Mills. We're having Ronnie Henson at our church in just a few weeks. And when I invited Mr. Henson and he agreed to come, my exact words were, "We'll put on the dog."
Ronnie is a super guy. I know Ronnie real good. I mean, as a matter of fact, a lot of the legends that you said that you had interviewed, you know, the ones from that you had told me that you had done, Terry Blackwood, Ronnie Henson, Mike Payne, I have been on with those guys several times. I don't know if I've been on with Terry, but the rest of them, I know the Blackwoods, I've been with them. They worked in Tennessee for a long time. But now Ronnie Henson just stands front and center. I'm telling you, that the songwriting of that guy just blows me away. I know one time I had had complimented him on the Lighthouse. He said, "Man, I'm telling you." I said, "But what else did you expect from the pen of Ronnie Henson?" It was a song of The Bridge. And I've always, Mercy Built the Bridge. Yeah. And the depth of that song, when I first heard it, goosebumps swelled up on me big as nickel marbles, you know. And I'm thinking, God, you had to have somebody's hand and pen anointed to write a song like this. But he has been very, very deep and detailed, and I love him. He's just a great guy. He's a great guy, you know. When you come down there, you tell him, I said, "Put on the dog now." Tell him I said.
That's what we're going to do. And then, Mr. Quinton, maybe down the road we can put on the dog and you can be there and be a part and we can worship together.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. Hopefully that'll work out in the future, and if it will, I think that the people, my folks in Mississippi feel like part of them that is related to me anyway. I've been down there so much. We get together again and have a great time. Hopefully that'll work out sometimes in the future, Natalie.
I hope so. Well, we cannot have you on the morning show and it be a throwback Thursday, and it's not acknowledged, this song right here, because in my mind, Quinton Mills and the Lily in My Valley, well, that's one and the same, because that name goes with that song. That voice in that song is just, well, it's just a part of who I am. So yeah, I grew up on this.
Yeah, it's so many people have said nobody sings that song like you. I'm not trying to lift me up, anything like that, but God gave me that song. It's a great message in that song, and it's so anointed. It's just an anointed song, period,
Mr. Mills, did you write it?
I wrote it. Yeah, I wrote that song back in 1986. I wrote that song. Most of the songs that I sing, I write, like Potter's House, Wonders of My Soul, Don't Want to Be the One, then the one that sounds like the beach music. He put it there. I was a little bit scared of that song. I was talking to the girl that bought my music for the distributor one day because we had released another one off my new album. And I said, you know what, Lisa? Her name was Lisa West. I said, when I sing this song, I said, boy, people can't be still. She said, your congregation will let you know what they like, because people have told me, said it might be a little bit progressive, but I released it and it just snowed. I mean, it shot to the top,
Yeah.
But it's part of who I am, I guess. But all in all, people come back and say, do you think you'll ever write a song any greater than I Found the Lily? I said, I'm not even trying to write a song any greater than I Found the Lily. I just thank God for giving me that too, because it was the introduction that I needed to the Southern gospel music industry, so they would understand who I was, what I was doing, and it has opened more doors than I could ever walk through.
Let's play it. He is our guest today for Throwback Thursday, Mr. Quinton Mills. I guess I forgot that you actually wrote the song. I mean, I knew it was your song, but I didn't realize you wrote it. But he did. He wrote it. Here it is. I want you to experience it. The Lily in My Valley.
Trying to calm the raging battle in my mind. In search of many answers that my troubled soul just couldn't seem to find. I saw a flower blooming where there was no rain or sunshine. That this flower would change the rest of my life. I found the lily in my valley. In my valley. I found strength when I was worn. I found a place to leave my burdens. I found refuge from the storm, a place where I trade my dark skies to beaming rays of sunshine. The Lord's sunshine. I found a lily in my valley, and he blooms all the time. So if you're down, broken hearted, and you just can't seem to find peace of mind, you're searching for your answers, but your problems are getting worse all the time. Just reach your hand to Jesus. He'll take you in and break the ties that bind. He'll be your lily in your valley. You can watch him bloom all the time. He'll He'll be strength when you're worn. He'll need a place to leave your burden. He'll give you refuge from the storm. A place where you trade your dark sky to beaming rays of sunshine. He'll be your lily in your valley, and he'll bloom all the time. I found the lily in my valley. I found strength when I was worn. I found a place to leave my burdens. He gave me refuge from the storm. A place where I trade my dark side to beaming rays of sunshine. I found the lily in my valley, and he blooms all the time. Yes, he's the lily in my valley, and he blooms all the time. All the time.
Spend this time with you on the show. Just brought back a lot of sweet memories, and I'll treasure this.
Well, it's been a pleasure for me, too. It's just so good to talk to the people on the air there, in Mississippi, because I'm not just saying it because I'm on the phone with someone in Mississippi. I love the state. I love the people. I've been not all over it, but I've been in a lot of places in Mississippi, including Yazoo City. Jerry Claus said, "Oh, Santa Claus done brought them to me." He's crazy. I've been all over Mississippi. But hopefully I'll get to see you guys eyeball to eyeball. And where Ronnie's going to be down in church or whatever, tell him I said hi, put on the dog, and I'd love to come down and sing for you guys sometimes.
We're going to try to work that out.
Okay.
Well,
you take care.
All right, we're going to play one more as we go out. But Mr. Mills, you've got a friend on the morning show. Don't forget that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I enjoyed it. We'll do it again.
Thanks a lot, Natalie. You have a great day.
Held a prisoner by my sin, the battle raging deep within, searching everywhere to find no peace and comfort for the mind. But when everything had failed to calm the tempest that did roll, Jehovah God did prevail and brought deliverance to my soul. Those storms are raging all around, I know I stand on solid ground. He was so rejected and abused, but the cornerstone hasn't moved. I've got a right to rejoice. You see, I know him, he's my Lord, and he's walking to and fro through the windows of my soul. Through these windows you will see the sweet assurance for my needs. If you look closer, you will find sweet peace and comfort for my mind. You see, I'm bound for heaven and not hell. Amazing grace has prevailed, and right now I feel him a-walking to and fro through the windows of my soul. I know that storms are raging all around, but thank God I stand on solid ground. He was so rejected, he was abused, but that cornerstone hasn't moved. I've got a right to rejoice. You see, I know him, he's my Lord, and he's walking to and fro through the windows of my soul. Right now I feel him a-walking to and fro through the windows of my soul.